Hello and welcome back. Today we're reacting to some more epic rap battles of history. Today we have Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. That is a very interesting pair-up, especially since I've been hearing the rumors about there being a fight between those two, hopefully coming up, where Mark Zuckerberg has officially accepted the challenge from Elon Musk, but it doesn't sound like Elon Musk is working to schedule it. Can't blame him. Elon Musk is, I forget which train exactly, but is trained in some form of martial arts. So I wouldn't want to fight him either. But with that being said, don't make threats if you can't hold up to him. Also, really quick, just wanted to mention we started a new podcast. If you like video games, science, engineering, technology, history, this is the podcast for you. It's called Games to Reality. We briefly talk about video games and how they tie to real life scenarios, events, histories, or just philosophical. Whatever we're feeling like that day and whatever makes sense. Check it out. There will be a link. Oh, that beat. Nice.
Call me Musk. I'm here to help. Flush a sucker turd for humanity's health. I'm making brilliant innovations in a race against the dark ages. Provide a place to discover your acts. Kinda racist. Got called to Senate. Data hack. Acted so robotic, Star Trek's like, we need Lieutenant Data back. I'm Tony Stark with a James Bond sprinkle toss in. And I've been flossing since you double-crossed the Wigglevoss twins.
Was a lieutenant.
Oh, God. Okay. So, if you're new to the channel, what we do is we listen to it verse by verse. We listen to verse 1, and then we go and we break it back down, and then we'll continue on to verse 2.
Call me Musk. I'm here to help. Flush a sucker turd for humanity's health.
Zucker turd, it's a pretty weak game, Musk. Got to do better than that.
I'm making brilliant innovations in a race against the dark ages.
So yeah, Musk obviously owns a number of companies, some more recent than others, some I think newer than this video was made. So of course he owns Tesla, which has done some wonderful innovations with self-driving, with electric vehicles, etc., etc. He also owns SpaceX, which is kind of getting scary actually with their monopoly on space travel, on privatized space travel. And they're doing a lot of missions for NASA and for other governments across the world. A little scary how much they're doing there, but innovational for sure. They have the Neuralink product. They've got Starlink. He's got Twitter, which is now called X, which is the stupidest marketing decision I've ever heard, I think. But, I mean, I'm not a billionaire, so maybe he's just a genius. I guess we'll see.
Provide a place to discover your acts. Kinda racist.
Yeah. Honestly, don't get that joke.
Got called to Senate. Data hack.
I actually watched, when it happened, the entire hearing with Mark Zuckerberg, the entire congressional hearing, and it was painful. It was at that moment that I truly realized that the people who lead our country have no idea what they're talking about whatsoever. Now, I don't expect every single member of Congress to know everything about technology and to be able to talk about it competently, but I expect them to have at least a base level of competence to maybe make sure that the questions that they're asking make sense. They know what's coming. They have time to prepare. They can consult experts. They can have their questions vetted, etc., etc. A lot of them didn't do that. I mean, some of the things that they talked about in that hearing were just super cringy and honestly quite concerning, because if that's how prepared they are on this topic, how prepared are they on the other topics that I don't fully understand? I'm guessing about just as much.
Acted so robotic, Star Trek's like, we need Lieutenant Data back.
Yeah, he does kind of remind me of Lieutenant Data.
Tony Stark with a James Bond sprinkle toss in. And I've been flossing since you double-crossed the Wigglevoss twins.
It's been a while, but if I remember correctly, the Wigglevoss twins were the two people in college that kind of co-founded Facebook, or co-developed it, if you will. I don't remember their exact involvement, but I do know that they were somewhat involved, and I know that he basically cut them out of the picture. Don't remember the details around it, though.
Was a lieutenant commander to start.
That voice.
Across the Wigglevoss twins!
Was a lieutenant commander to start, but I wouldn't expect you to understand an org chart. See, here's mine. I'm at the top boss, and I'm spitting fire like I'm hot sauce. You can't sneak up on Zuck. I don't even fucking blink. I'm the CEO, knowing what you think. Hey, I've been looking up your family. It can start. My God, couldn't clean your daddy's laundry with a part-time. What's the Oculus, Instagram, WhatsApp? I'm cleaning up like a wet now. I drive around in a hatchback. Beep beep. I'll let your story like Snapchat. Elon, you're nothing but an attention-seeking outcast, and your star is faded like you on a podcast.
Don't smoking with Joe Rogan, don't slow.
That was, dude, I don't think he blinked once that entire time. He just stared dead into the camera, right into my soul. And I didn't like it. Oh, God. That voice.
Sprinkle toss in, and I've been flossing since you double-crossed the Wigglevoss twins!
Was a lieutenant commander to start.
Of course, Mark Zuckerberg would know that Data was a lieutenant commander. Of course, he would make that correction.
But I wouldn't expect you to understand an org chart.
It's such a odd burn, because in most other scenarios, that sentence would not be... I don't think anyone would look at that and be like, oh, sick burn, dude. But in Musk's case, it certainly is, because he is notorious for being eccentric. 100% notorious for that. And he doesn't really respect a lot of what you would call classical organizational hierarchy. Maybe let's leave it at that.
Here's mine. I'm at the top boss.
Look at my org chart. Here I am. I'm at the top, man.
And I'm spitting fire like I'm hot sauce.
I feel like there's some connection to draw there with hot sauce. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I'm just not quite getting there. If you know what that connection is, if there is one, let me know.
Sneak up on Zuck. I don't even fucking blink.
He doesn't.
CEO and knowing what you think. Hey.
I don't know if any of you have ever actually taken a look at the data that Facebook gathers on you. It is incredibly scary. The marketing profiles that they're able to build are so incredibly detailed, so accurate. They can predict your age, your sex. They can predict where you're located. They can predict your income range, whether you're married, if you have kids, how many kids. These are things that they can predict with very high levels of accuracy based on just your profile, what you do, what you search for, how you shop, those types of things. They predict that. They can predict your sexual orientation, all sorts of things. It's crazy.
I've been looking up your family. It can start. My God. Couldn't clean your daddy's laundry with a part-time. What's the...
I guess that's some sort of play on Tide Pods, because for a while kids were eating those. I don't know why, but I'm not familiar with Zuckerberg's family, so I guess I can't really comment too much on that one. But if you know more, let me know.
Oculus, Instagram, WhatsApp. I'm cleaning up like a wet now.
He owns a lot of things. Facebook does.
I drive around in a hatchback. Beep beep. I'll let your story like Snapchat. Elon, you're nothing but an attention-seeking outcast, and your star is faded like you on a podcast. Don't...
That's so good. Elon Musk, of course, notoriously smoked on the Joe Rogan podcast. I believe I saw a clip of it a long time ago. But yeah.
smoking with Joe Rogan, don't slow motion my pace.
Wait. Let's
Faded
restart.
like you on a podcast.
Don't smoking with Joe Rogan, don't slow motion my pace, man. When I'm conquering my space, it's actual space, man. I got a loan from the White House. Boom! Said that shit straight to the moon. Now I'm taking mankind to Mars, but for your kind, man, I ain't got room. Your platform only launches depression. Who put the elf with no friends in charge of human connection? Hey, you claim to be some kind of saint, but you ain't. Why don't you lean in and face mash my musky Dutch taint? I'm destined to rep Earth. You sold
Oh
us
my
out for
God.
some net worth. Your site's got so many Russian bots, they should call it the social network.
Ooh, bots. I know AI gets you tweeting. I read your feed while eating toast from Robot Morgan Freeman. You need
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I was just so into it that I kind of missed the whole point where his verse was over. Okay. This is good.
you on a podcast.
Don't smoking with Joe Rogan, don't slow motion my pace, man.
I like that. He's like, hey, yeah, I might have smoked with Joe Rogan, but that doesn't slow me down.
When I'm conquering my space, it's actual space, man.
I like that a lot. Of course, Facebook was the MySpace killer. MySpace was the social network that was kind of, I don't know if it was necessarily the first one, but it was the first really big one. A lot of people in my generation started out with MySpace, which was really cool because you could do your own HTML, do your own CSS. You could actually customize it quite a bit. And that's why a lot of us know those things. We weren't taught it in school or anything. We just had to know to make our MySpace pages look good. So Facebook was the MySpace killer. And MySpace is still around, but I mean, let's be honest, no one uses it. But of course, Musk is saying, hey, when I conquer MySpace, it's actually space.
I got a loan from the White House. Boom! Said that shit straight to the moon. Now I'm taking mankind to Mars, but for your kind, man, I ain't got room.
Oh, I really like that. The taking mankind to Mars and conquering space. We actually talked about this on our first episode of the Games to Reality podcast. Check it out. There's a link in the description. I think you'd really like it. But we did talk about that and Musk's plan to basically do something with Mars.
Your platform only launches depression.
Yeah, that's true. So many people get addicted to these social networks and a lot of like mobile games and stuff, which kind of go hand in hand with social networking. We don't know necessarily the long-term effects of that yet. We haven't had this for long enough to actually have super long-term generational studies on it. Those are new things within my generation. When I was born, those things did not exist, and now they do. So we really don't know the long-term implications. And we know that it's here to stay. We know that it does have an impact, and we can kind of guess what that impact is, but we don't have a lot of scientific proof or evidence, at least for super long-term. Short-term, yes, we have it. And we've actually found that it causes people to become more antisocial, because why go out and actually socialize when you could just stare at your screen and send a message? Much less effort, much less risk of human interaction going sideways. You know, there's a lot less risk of embarrassment. There's a lot less risk of getting shunned or getting turned away or rejected. So all things that kind of drive you towards these types of interactions.
Put the elf with no friends in charge of human connection.
That's got to be my favorite line so far.
You claim to be some kind of saint, but you ain't. Why don't you lean in and face mash my musky Dutch taint?
I'm not going to lie. Those two lines alone, Musk has this one.
I'm destined to rep Earth. You sold us out for some net worth. Your site's got so many Russian bots, they should call it the social network.
That's a really clever play on words. The social network. I absolutely love that. And of course, I think this was after this video was made. But of course, with the whole acquisition of Twitter and Musk doing the whole trying to buy it for, what was it, like 40 billion or something like that. And after he's already kind of legally obligated to make the purchase, trying to talk that price down because he is claiming that there's a bunch of bots and stuff, which was all stuff that should have been done during discovery instead of after a commitment to buy. And anyway, he was saying there's a lot of bots on there, and maybe there is, you know, there definitely was a lot, but it's kind of ironic.
Ooh, Ooh, bots. I know AI gets you tweeting. I read your feed while eating toast from Robot Morgan Freeman. You need to start sleeping. We can all see you're tired. You're about to be CEO. Shit, he got fired. You got all these companies, but they're incomplete. I've got one and I fold money. Incomplete. Set your self-driving truck to haul your ass home. Cause this battle's like PayPal. You got
Oh wow, that was
feature for the social network. Ooh, bots. I know AI gets you tweeting.
we talked about that already, so I don't think we'll dive in more, but good line.
I read your feed while eating toast from Robot Morgan Freeman.
I don't get that. Did he build a robot Morgan Freeman toaster? I don't know.
Need to start sleeping. We can all see you're tired. You're about to be CEO. Shit, he got fired.
I'm not too familiar with that whole situation, so I'll try not to comment on it much, but yeah.
Got all these companies, but they're incomplete.
Wait, go back. Okay. Let's see here. DeepMind. Oh, I forgot about the Boring Company. Huh.
I've got one and I fold money. Incomplete.
That's a good line.
Get your self-driving truck to haul your ass home. Cause this battle's like PayPal. You got
I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I really did. Especially some of the built-in irony in there that maybe wouldn't have even made sense at the time that this video was made, but it aged perfectly. It really did age perfectly. So now, of course, the hardest question of all that we have to answer each time is who won this? Who actually won? I think by a small margin, because there was some really good stuff on both sides. But on a small margin, I'm going to have to say Musk probably won. I mean, the whole face mask by Musky Dutch date. That was good. Okay, we're not going to pretend like it wasn't. But yeah, I don't know. He had some really good lines that seemed to hit a little harder, and he blinked, which was nice and refreshing. Well, compared to watching Zuckerberg. So yeah, Musk won it for me. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.